song ideas and, big plans and trying to make them all fit seamlessly together, on one project.
Wow. And do you feel like, and obviously I know you mean crazy in just like a talented way, you got so many talented people involved in this process, and it's a lot of like, I feel like we've gotten so much better at communication, and so just like even you, Tay, like you've helped facilitate so many of these different collaborations, and just having you a part of the process has just made things so much more smooth. So Tay, thank you for that. Allison, Allison is freaking like Tom Brady, the female Tom Brady. She's just running point and just making plays happen left and right. So kudos to Allison K. I know all of us appreciate her so much for making our lives so much easier. And you also, you empower all of us to do what we love. And that's like such a blessing and such a gift. So thank you so much for that. And for me, this album has been like, it's been like so crazy to see people's reactions to it. I watched a couple reaction videos on YouTube, and just to see how it's really moving people in this time. Like, it doesn't seem to have an age demographic to it. I can just see so many different age groups, men, women, it's like, it's crazy. But, as I sit here and I'm like processing it, I'm like, okay, that's like, it's done. Like, I'm already in the studio cooking, because it's just like, I so appreciate it, but like, I want to just continue to make cool stuff. And like, is that weird?
Not at all. Like, bro, I wanted this to tap in, just to say, yo, like the things I saw, like, you know what I mean? I've been around you for 10 plus years, and I've never seen you do the things I saw you just do for Justice, dog. Like, wow. You literally were like a song like Unstable. Wow. Hey, I'll tell Greg to make the lyrics past tense. Wow. Like stuff like that, bro. Or like, somebody like, hey, I want to make it more rock, so it can match the tone of the rest of the album. Like, bro, these simple little calls, these like, you know what I mean, bro? It's really like you were like the quarterback and running the play and executing it. Wow. And I was in awe, bro. Like, I used to be one of those guys that'd be like, oh, I wish I was in the studio. I don't need to be in the studio, bro. Like, I could be from afar and you're gonna run the play with me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this to see you do what you just did, bro, it's amazing, bro. And you just broke records, bro. Like, Michael Jackson never did this, Elvis never did this. Like, wow. It's history being made in front of our eyes right now. And I just want to thank you,
dude. We got a lot
JB,
of cool stuff.
I was also...
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was saying before you jumped on, something that so, amazing about this album is it was made, first couple songs we started, but it was made like in quarantine. It's probably the only album ever to ever be this big of an album, a number one album, shattering records, that was made like without anyone in the same room for a really long time. Wow. If you think about that, like, you were in another place, Josh was in another place. We were able to, with the amazing technology, send files back and forth and tweak things together and get on Zoom when we had to and do lyrics and it was truly made from a bunch of different countries, and that has never happened in music before. And to have,
I think, bro, that's such a good observation. And I think, like, for the people who are listening right now, I think that's something to acknowledge, just not to be like, look at what we did, but more so of like, we're just people, like we did what we're good at, and like we executed it in this time. And like, I just feel like there's so many people out there who have these visions for their life and what they want to accomplish, and then it's like COVID happens and they're like, well, my plan's ruined, and it's like, you got, we can adapt, like, I feel like as humans, we gotta be able to roll with these punches. And I know, I don't know if that's like heartless to say, but like, there are, I don't know. Am I making sense? Anybody?
No, you are, bro.
Yeah, you're making complete sense. It's, it's the same, adapt, change. You have to change with the changes. You have to move forward. We could have all sat home and been like, okay, well, we can't get in the studio, so I guess we can't make an album till this is over.
Exactly.
But we all love music. Justin, we've had the conversation countless times how we wouldn't be here without music in many different ways. And it's like, so we had to make music in this moment. We had to change. We had to figure it out. We had to all get on the same wave in order to do this. And I honestly feel like this was like the biggest teamwork process of any album I've ever been a part of. I feel so much closer to everyone on the team. We all have talked so much to make it happen. And it takes an army to make something like that could go this big. It really does.
Wow, I really believe that.
Hey, Alde, what's that somebody lyric? The army lyric? Defend you like an army, was it?
Yeah, who gonna defend you like an army? Yeah,
never let go.
Never let go.
Allison K defends you like an army.
Definitely.
Never let go.
Never let go.
Love it.
Wow. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on as far as just Allison? Is there anything else you want to you think we should share about the process, or anything that you think would be interesting for people who are watching?
I mean, I think that it's been a unique one for you. Even like maybe talk to them a little, because it's something they'll get to see in the coming weeks about the trip you made internationally, because no one has done that in COVID. So that's been another unique thing about this, and I think it was a different experience for all of us. But otherwise, I think it could be cool to maybe see if anyone in here has any questions for you.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we just got back from, took a trip to Paris. And we took all the precautions necessary. We had to get all the COVID tests, and, while we were shooting and stuff, everyone was masked up, and we did it, we followed all the rules and stuff. So it was like, so don't get upset with us. But that was so interesting to be traveling and doing all this stuff during a pandemic. But it seems as though we are like headed into, it seems, back to more with everyone getting the freaking COVID vaccination. It seems like everything's, I don't pretend to know the beginnings of all this shit that's going on, but I think what I'm trying to say is that we were able to go all the way to France and do this thing. So I mean that shows that things are changing a little bit. I try to be so careful with what I say, because I know how definitely people are really sensitive, and it is a sensitive subject because of it's just been crazy. But yeah, France was sick. We got to perform at the top of this building overlooking the Eiffel Tower, which was crazy. I envisioned this just when I was just either laying in bed, or I forget what I was doing, but I envisioned performing overlooking the Eiffel Tower, which has been one of my favorite architectural structures in the world. It's so beautiful, and the city is just so beautiful. So I wanted to see if there was a way that I could perform in Paris, and like we said, Allison just running point made it happen, and that was freaking epic. And thank you for making that happen, Allison. But yeah, that was pretty sweet. We shot some stuff, and that's gonna come out probably within the next little while. That's exciting.
I can't wait for people to see the content that we just did for that. The videos are so dope.
Same.
It was beautiful, and all from your head, which was the coolest part, because it was, a thought you came up with in the middle of the night.
Very cool. And thank you for helping execute that. That was a freaking crazy day, or a couple days. Let's get some questions going from some people.
Hey, Justin. This is Fadia from ClubHouse. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, love. So I just want to tell the room you have like about 7,000 people in here, and a lot of fans want to ask you questions. So for everyone in the audience, if you want to ask Justin a question, in your profile, go and edit your profile and put your questions in there. And then raise your hand, and we're going to handpick a couple of fans to come up that way. So go ahead, put your question in the profile, and raise your hand.
While they're doing that, Justin, I'll ask a question to start. What's your favorite song on the album right now?
Oh man, that's too hard to answer right now because they change so much. But yeah, it's too hard because they all have different moods, and they just all capture something so different, which is kind of what you want in like a diverse album, you know.
Tay, do you have any that you want to do while we're pulling some fans up?
Yeah. JB. What's a good question? For me, I like the flow of the album. I like how you were able to take sounds that are popular for the world and put it on one project. So not only do we hit the emo rap, we also got country. We also got, you know what I mean? We also got Afro beats on there. I like how you were able to literally tailor-made the album so it hits the whole world, where everyone can feel special or feel like they can grab a piece and attach to it.
That's a great observation. I was gonna just to piggyback off that, I was just gonna say that that was the goal, you know, as people, you know, you and I have been traveling you know, globally for years now, and we've kind of gotten a taste of so many different cultures all around the world. And I think like that is the goal when we make these projects, is how can we make sure we have something for everybody so that people don't feel like they're missing out, and they have, you know, and so yeah, that's what kind of has been super cool to hear, is like all of our different friends will hit us and be like, yo, this is my favorite, Ghost is my favorite, this one's my favorite. And it's like that's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, everyone can literally hold on to something. Like you might not like some people might not like this, but they like that. Like you're gonna like something on this project. Definitely. And it's cool. It gives like it lets the fans have a piece of it, and that's all it is when you make a good pop album or a great pop album. It's just you want to walk away like you're a part of the project as well.
1000p. 1000%. 1000%.
All right, Ahmed. Justin, we have Ahmed here. He has a question for you. Ahmed, go ahead.
Hello, Justin. My name is Ahmed. I'm from Nigeria.
What's going on, man?
What up, man? This is a dream come true for me, and I just want to ask you a question about the album. So, what's Haley's favorite on the album?
Sorry, what was that?
What song is Haley's favorite on the album?
Oh, Haley's favorite, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Which one is her favorite? Let me think. Probably Anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, man.
Andrew and John Bell.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, bro.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support, bro. It means a lot.
Samantha, you're next.
Hi, everyone. I want to start off with not only congratulating Justin, but everyone that was a part of this, because honestly, out of all of your albums, Justin, this one just really hits number one. I mean, and obviously that's proving it, but like this album has been on repeat every single day, like since it came out. Wow. So just congratulations on that for everybody a part of it, and especially you, Justin.
Thank you.
And then, so 2 questions. What's your favorite memory from making the album? Do you have a specific memory or where you were or time that just really sticks out from the process?
Let me think. To be honest, now that I think back about being at Andrew's house and him just being like, yo, play the piano, get on the mic, like that was one of the coolest things, to have a song that I actually wrote the whole thing and it went #1. Like that for me was like such a cool accomplishment, because I'm all for like, and I think it feels the same for me whether I wrote the song or not, because I love being able to empower other incredible songwriters and be able to collaborate, because I think that collaboration, there's nothing to be what's it called, I don't know, I think some people kind of can feel bad if it's like, oh, I didn't write the whole thing. I know people can feel a little bit weird about that, but I guess I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm sorry, what song were you talking about?
You were talking about Peaches, JB.
Oh yeah, Peaches. Okay. Yeah, Peaches.
Talking about Peaches in the memory.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say that song will be the song of the summer for sure. I'm already telling you that. Like,
thank you.
Okay, so I get where you were going with that. And then the last question, what song means the most to you?
The song that means the most to me on the album would be, oh man, that's so hard.
That's so tough.
It's so hard. For me, which makes me the most emotional right now, right in this second, but it's like I keep saying, it changes, but Somebody, it makes me cry.
I love that. I love that record.
Shout out.
Just letting you know, like, obviously our first time listening to the album, we had to sit there and like we're just excited listening to it. And then once you actually sit down and listen to the album and the songs and the lyrics, I feel like a lot of us can really connect to it. And I just appreciate the way that you pour your heart out to the world and we get to really see that side of you. So just thank you again. And like you were kind of saying how your song that means the most to you changes every day. I feel like it's the same with like a favorite song. It changes every day. Wow. But right now mine is probably Unstable. And then There She Go, like that one's just a bop as well.
Wow. Thank you so much for saying that. And thank you so much for just all the encouragement. It just feels so good to know that my music is translating and that it's, connecting with people. So thank you.
Great job, Samantha.
Janalisa, hi.
Hi. Hello. I just want to say on behalf of all your Beliebers, the album is just amazing. My question for you is, what 3 songs do you look forward to performing on tour?
What 3 songs?
Yes.
Man, here we go. I mean, it's just so hard to choose the 3 because there's so many. I just look for, they all just bring so much of a different mood. Let's stay away from the comparison questions because it's too hard to compare the songs. It's like comparing your children. If I like my mom or my dad better.
Well, in other words,
what about the ugly child?
What, man?
Sorry, keep going. Don't listen to Andrew.
I was just saying, I look forward to seeing you on tour whenever we get to go back on tour, and being surrounded by all your amazing fans. You have some of the greatest fans, and I hope you really realize that.
Thank you. I really do. I feel really grateful. So thank you.
Caitlin, you're up.
Hi, Justin. This is crazy. I'm a big fan here. I was at the My World tour. I was at the Purpose tour. Wow. I've been around for the whole thing. So thank you for your music. I've grown up with it, and this album is incredible. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of everybody involved. And it's just truly one of the best albums I've ever heard. So just wanted to start off by saying that.
Wow. One of the best albums you've ever heard. That's crazy.
No, hands down. I mean, I'm a big fan. So,
hey.
But yeah. I mean, everyone's asking these album questions. I'll ask something a little more lighthearted. 2020 was a hard year, and it was crazy and different than anything that we've all probably experienced what was your favorite memory, whether it was album related or just life related, from 2020 that you felt was like a highlight throughout all the hard times?
Wow. I went on a road trip with my wife during the pandemic, and we literally just traveled across the country and ate food together and like got to connect and bond, and like that was really special. What else was really special? Well, at the beginning of all of the quarantine and stuff, Haley and I were in Canada, and that was another thing that we got to do. We really got to just like, it was at the beginning of our marriage, so I think like having that time to really like, there wasn't a lot happening, we weren't traveling, we really got to just like, we were just in each other's space, and it allowed us to really just see all of each other's flaws and be okay with them, and that was like a really just a good time for us to connect and become closer.
That's so special. Thank you for sharing that, and I'm really
Absolutely.
happy to hear that you guys had a lot of special, amazing moments last year, and I love you guys together. So say hi to Haley if she's there.
Thank you. She's not here right now, but I'll tell you, say hi.
Of course. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Hey, yo, JB, I wanted to piggyback off of what you were just saying. I think for me and even some of the guys, even like Josh could probably attest, when you set up the basketball games that we did over the pandemic and like literally create an environment and a community for you and your friends just to come together and just build as individuals and learn each other a little bit more, even with Rory there or with Blaze and Nick, like we all play like a pivotal part in each other's lives. And I feel like for me, that was very, very important because that for me as an A&R, bro, like it was easy for me to play music for you in that environment, because it's like, oh, we're hanging out, but here's some music too. And then like songs like somebody, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
During these times. And for me, that was very, very amazing because you were able to create the community and help put together the team to do what we're doing now.
Wow. Thank you. I think that's well, thank you for saying all those things. I think sometimes I like to take these moments and then being able to translate them to the listener who's listening right now, just to be like, yo, we can do a lot on our own, but you know, this only came together because it was an incredible team. And we can't, growing up, I was always the guy who always had to have the ball, and playing basketball, playing sports, I always had to be the one who was scoring, who had the ball, you know. And like, I think the older you get and the more you understand how, you know, important your relationships are, I feel like passing the ball is everything. You got to pass the ball. You got to, you know, include the people around you, and not only just in, you know, for the things that you want to accomplish, but then when you accomplish those things, actually celebrating moments with the people that you know, you just spend all that time working. Like, you got to spend those moments after you know, have the big, you know, accomplishment, whatever that looks like for you in your world. For me, it was this album and these performances. And so for us, it's like, all right, let's take a minute. Let's go out to dinner. Let's take a Sunday. Let's connect. Let's talk about our struggles. Let's talk about our issues. Let's talk about what's stressing us out. Let's, you know, eat together, and then let's get re-encouraged and go back out into this really tricky, challenging world and try to make it a difference. But, you know, the best and biggest things are, you know, people coming together and creating something when they put their heads together. And that's something that I could have never made this project on my own, you know. And I look at these 7,000 people in here. I know they all have dreams. They all have these visions of what they want to accomplish. And I just embrace those who are around you that want to help you. Don't try to do everything on your own. I hope that helps.
Nick Demora, do you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, Justin.
Demora!
My name's Nick, and I'm a huge fan.
Nick,
what up?
Slicky D.
I just thought it'd be interesting because, like, something I'm always a fan of with your albums, Jay, is like the order of that track listing, right?
Yep.
And like there's always like this really dope intimate record that starts the album, like Mark My Words with Purpose, and now Too Much with this record. Is that something like you really think about when you sit in the studio when you're also picking your records of like how this thing's gonna lay out, and what's your like process on that? Is it like a feeling, or is it like, I don't know, maybe that's something cool to talk about?
That's a great question, and I think you know, as someone who's so creative like yourself, you I think you know, not to give it to you, but I feel like you have encouraged that type of stuff too. Like, hey, what do you think of, you know, you've helped me learn momentum, and you know, sometimes shows, they need momentum. You gotta like, you can't just come off gun blazing, and it could be too intense. But if you kind of give them some, you know, some feeling first and kind of draw them into where you're going, you gotta kind of like, what is this guy about? What is this album about? What is this thing, you know? And then you just kind of reel them in. And I think like when you do that with like this intimate song, it's vulnerable. And if you want to like connect with people, I think ultimately you gotta be vulnerable. You know, you can't expect someone to give you themselves if you're not going to give you yourself. So if you just, hey, you know, here's how I'm feeling, you know, baby, I stare too much, baby, not long enough, funny how I forget to blink. You're showing that this sensitive side to yourself, that it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be, you know, and then people let their guard down. And then before you know it, you got a room full of vulnerable people who are jumping up and down, you know, with their hands up, you know? And I think like, for me, having that momentum in the album and having these moments where it's like, so it just sounds cohesive and then it goes somewhere, like that's always the goal.
I know. I always think you do an amazing job with that. I don't think we've ever talked about it, and I think it was cool, man.
Thank you, man. And then for the album, I just listen to the music every day, and then one day it just came to me. I ordered it up and I listened to it top to bottom. I was like, this is it. I sent it to Josh, and he's like, all right, boom. And that was that.
Fire.
Yes, sir. Thanks, bro. Are you staying in or are you bouncing?
I'm listening. I'm here. I've been here.
Sweet. I didn't know where you were. Have you been in here the whole time?
I've been here, but in the audience, and then they added me for the question. That was it.
Yeah,
so I've just been around listening.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Justin, I want to introduce you actually to Paul from our team. Well, he's a founder, not the team. He made the team. So Paul,
co-founder,
and co-founder with Rohan as well. So
sweet. Hey, Paul.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Dude, this is cool, man. I love this space.
Oh, thank you.
Feels organic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's Scooter was like a huge part of the early community. It's been so cool to have him be part of it. So he mentioned that you might be coming on. We're all really excited. So thank you so much for being here.
Dude, it's a freaking pleasure to be able to have a space where we can talk like this so candidly is pretty sweet.
I remember when you built Shots.
Yep.
And it was honestly like there were some similar themes, right? Because I think like the way feedback worked, and you know, like the way you were thinking about likes and follows and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It's really cool. Like, what did I'd love to hear, like, what's the origin story behind that? Like, how did you decide to build that? And it was it's really interesting. I remember when it came out.
Yeah, I think when Shots first came around, me and Johnny got super close, and he was like, man, with all the bullying on the internet, he was like, I want to create a social media platform that isn't based on likes and commenting, but it's more interactive with your friends and da-da-da. And so we made it happen for some time, and then as time went on, it just I think Johnny's heart just took a different direction. Not that he became a bad person or anything. I just mean I think he just they got into different, a different world, and they started making content and all that sort of stuff. So I'd be interested to see because we have all of the technology and all of this stuff. I'm not sure how all that stuff works, but it's still, the bones are there. So, I mean, if we ever wanted to go back to it, we could. But I think that was the goal, just a safe space where people can, share their content and not feel so judged by it.
Yeah, we think about that a lot. Like audio is just obviously a really different medium, but I was gonna say you're a really good moderator. People have been messaging me. It kind of takes a special set of skills to like manage the flow of a room and ask people good questions, and you are really good at it.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I want it to be entertaining. I also want to get meat out of the conversation. So making sure that, as we're flowing, that people aren't just bored and want to leave, that they want to stick around because they're getting some substance, and so that's ultimately the goal. And then also to make everyone in the room feel empowered and everyone feel safe and encouraged. So I think when you're doing these things and your heart is just to build each other up, that's ultimately, everyone just wants to feel like the best version of themselves. So that's that.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying the same. Thank you to Justin and Paul. Also, thank you to you for letting us, use this platform to help promote justice.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
Get out of here.
For real.
Thank you, Justin, so
You're
much.
welcome.
No, for real. I mean, we didn't build this. You can't put, what. I am not a tech person. I could never imagine building in the same ways you probably are like, I couldn't make, an album, right? Like I could not freaking make a freaking software thing. It just is so over my head. So I appreciate it.
Oh man.
Is that the one thing you can't do? Did we figure it out?
Yeah, I can't code. That's like my only thing. Can't code.
You could if you just learned, right? I mean, anyone can. I haven't coded since college. I call myself a pretend engineer.
Wow.
And, so it's a good thing that. Oh, the team just said, Mo on our team just said that we're hiring if you decide to take it up. So.
All right. Sweet. I'll think about it.
Just good to have a backup. You never know.
Just moonlighting as a developer.
That's funny.
Justin, I want to introduce you actually to Mariana and Crystal. They created the first Justin Bieber club on ClubHouse, and they've been doing a bunch of programming.
Woo!
So, welcome Mariana and Crystal on the stage. What's your question?
Thank you so much for that introduction, Fadia. Hi, Justin. I'm so happy you're on this app. It's an awesome app.
It really is.
It is. We created Bieber Nation, which 2 weeks ago, which is the first club on the app, and it's doing really well. So we're excited about that. We have a lot of cool rooms coming up. So we're excited about that.
Sweet.
So my question is, first of all, I love Justice. All the songs are so amazing, so relatable. It's like there's no skips.
Wow.
It's amazing. So I wanted to ask, what song took the longest to make, or what song did you take the most time on?
That's funny. I mean, let's see. Let me go to the album real quick. Triple Checks Deluxe. I'm so surprised that no one's asked me about Triple Chucks Deluxe. Not one person.
Yeah, how did that name come up, Justin? Talk about that.
The Triple Chucks Deluxe, man. It's like inside joke between me, Jaden, and Moise Mateo. Cause he's always Mateo's always like, yo, let's triple it up, Chucks. He always calls me Chucks, just because I don't know, I'm laughing all the time, or chuckles, like Chucks, Triple Chucks Deluxe. So it's like this little fun, I don't know. But anyways, let's look at these songs and see which one took the longest. Too Much, Deserve You, As I Am, My Face. To be honest, so for these different songs, I'm not sure how long, because a lot of them were presented to me and then we would go back and revisit them or rewrite some stuff. But ultimately a lot of them were sent to me, so I would be curious to ask Andrew or all day which songs took them the longest to come up with.
Well, what took the longest for you to like record, or like that you took the most time recording?
I don't want to come off arrogant or anything, but I cut vocals pretty quickly. Like all of the vocals took maybe like 2 hours to cut each song.
I mean, that's not arrogant, that's just facts.
Max. Thanks. I appreciate
it. Kid vocal produces himself.
Hey, Justin, if I can.
He vocal produces himself.
And Josh, and you can probably, piggyback too. Like I've been in rehearsals texting Justin while he's on the way to rehearsals, sending music, and by like imagine texting him a song, he say yes, and then later that night you get a song back. Completely.
I think Justin's averaging 45 minutes a song right now.
Wow.
To an hour.
Crazy.
Wow. Thanks for saying that, guys.
That's also, and I watched him a lot of times. He'll listen to a record for a long time before he goes in there, know the words and everything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't do that. They just get in and they're like, okay, feed it to me line by line. He's becoming the song before he sings it. It's a really special thing to watch. And JB, I think I don't know if everyone knows, but the process in which Peaches took to make, that was like a multi-layered thing, from it starting to what Harv brilliantly, how he just took it offline and turned it into that thing. I mean, that song definitely took like a while to make.
Definitely. No, that process was so much different than the rest of the other album because we started the bare bones. I posted a little bit on my gram. It's like bare bones. Don't say bare bones. It's weird. But we took the bare bones, and then Harv took that, and then he made it, freaking next level. But he took that off my Instagram, which was the craziest thing.
Amazing. Big shout out to Harv too.
Big shout out to Harvski.
Oh, also, Bellion, John Bellion. Yeah, we have this big special thanks to John Bellion. He's definitely one of the dogs that helped us with this project. I know he wanted to hop on. But I think he had a family matter, so he couldn't have stuff available. But I just want to shout him out as well.
Yes, sir.
John is one of the most special artists, songwriters. He's such a special human being. And at JB, I know you got to spend some time with him, but the way he connects to a topic, a song, a lyric, an emotion, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And I think you and him had so much more in common than I think either of you realized going into this. And it's reflected in the album.
Thank you for saying that, man.
Crystal, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah. Hi, Justin. Love the album, like everyone else has mentioned as well. My question is, when you announced your album Justice on Instagram, you explained that releasing the album is just doing a small part to continue the conversation of what justice looks like so that we can continue to heal. So how do you think music has and or can play a role in social advocacy?
That is a great question. I think music, the other day I sat around and was looking at people reviewing the album, and a couple of the times they would stop and be like, okay, what is the significance of putting the Martin Luther King speech in there? And you could see their wheels were turning. A couple of the guys were like, oh, he thinks he can just solve all the injustices with just with this album. And then by the end of it, one of the guys was like, maybe he just wants to use his platform to make sure that people are hearing this. I know for me, being Canadian, I never even I mean, they didn't teach us about Black history, and that was just not a part of our education system. And like, I think for me, coming from Canada and, you know, being uneducated and, you know, making insensitive jokes when I was a kid, and being insensitive and being honestly just a part of the problem, because I was just, I just didn't know better. And I think like for me to have this platform to just, you know, share this raw moment of Martin Luther King in a time where he thought that he was, I mean, he knew he was going to die for what he was standing up for. And he was preaching to himself in that moment, just talking about, if you're not willing to die for something that you believe in, you know, what is it worth living? And for me, I was willing to, you know, go through as much hate by putting that on the album, just because I know that there's a bigger purpose. And I'm not trying to be, you know, the white savior, and that's just not my heart. My heart is just to amplify Martin Luther King's voice, and my heart is to, I know this is a, you know, I've gone a little left from the question, but just sharing my heart here. I think that, I think it was my honor to be able to share Martin Luther King's incredibly touching speech, and I just want to keep growing and learning about just all social injustices, and what it looks like for me to be better, what it looks like for my friends to be better. And I know I have a long way to go. I know that I love this. I love that when people are watching or listening to my album, these conversations are coming up, and they're like, well, how is he going from Martin Luther King into a love song? It's not, I'm not trying to make a connection between me and Martin Luther King. That's why I never tried to talk about social injustice, or, you know, I didn't want to be the one to talk about it, because I just have so much more learning to do. But I have, you know, this man who was ready to die for what he believed and what he believed to be true. And if I'm not willing to just face some sort of like ridicule or judgment of people, you know, wondering my motives or whatever that is, for me, it was a no-brainer, because, you know, it was just a no-brainer for me. So I hope that answers your question.
It did. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was definitely one of those people who, my first listen, I was like, interesting, didn't know how it fit in. But once you explain it that way, I definitely can see, you know, even just people listening to it for their first time, their first album listening, how many people get to hear that message, even if they don't listen to it again, you know, just using your platform to spread awareness and educate people who sometimes aren't always as educated as they need to be. So yeah, thank you so much for answering my question, and love the album.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking it.
Oh,
All
just
right, Nicole.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
All good, Nicole.
Hey, Justin. Oh my God. I'm pretending to be cool, but my heart is coming out of my chest right now, because I'm a big fan. I'm from Brazil, and we miss you here. But first of all, I want to congratulate you and all the ones that have been part of the album. Justice is one of your best albums for me, and certainly one that I loved so much and haven't stopped listening since the release. You know, for me, the album is so honest, it's so you showing yourself vulnerable and real parts of you, you know, and your feelings. But my question is, what is your favorite memory of Brazil? And well, I have to say that my iPhone was broken, and I found a way to get money to get a new one to be here today. So for me, I'm really freaking out here. But tell me, what's your favorite memory of Brazil?
My favorite memory of Brazil is, shoot. There's been so, Tay, give me yours, and maybe it'll spark some memories.
When they set up areas for us to go spray paint, that was great.
Oh yeah.
And just vibing with the boys, and like, you know what I mean, they were able to find locations that were safe for us, so you can just, you know, be artistic. That was great.
That was cool. And I think there was times where I think people thought that we weren't getting permission and we were just tagging open spaces, but we did get permission to go and tag in those different spots. So anyways, that was a sweet memory.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you here again. And I have one more question. Are there any lyrics on the album, you know, that might have been written a few years ago and today you have improved them to, you know, expose some feelings that are current but maybe rare, or were this album all written during the pandemic? How was it?
Well, most of it was written in the pandemic. The only old song I think that was written prior was the song "Wish You Would," which was written maybe like 8-9 years ago, and it just
I think that was supposed to be.
Sorry.
I think that was supposed to. I think we were working on that for Purpose at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. So that was just re-recorded, and then we, yeah. So that would be the only one that I feel like was older.
Awesome. Lauren, you get the last question.
Lauren.
He's muted.
I'm unmuted.
There he is.
What up, Lauren?
What's going on? I love this project, man. You've done such an amazing job. Here's a quick question for you. Something I was thinking about. Out of all the tracks on this album, which track was encouraging you real time while you were recording it? Whether you're writing, whether you were, thinking about life, whatever it may be. What track was a strategic track that really encouraged you while you were in the middle of actually recording it?
Wow, great question. What was a song that was encouraging me? Probably Off My Face. And the reason why is because either Off My Face and Too Much. And I think those love songs, I would just say, because love is not always a feeling. Like, you don't always feel like, because of the weights of the world, because of the pressures of, your job and people hurting, and, like, sometimes you just feel, like you're just trying to get through the day. And sometimes, like, having these songs remind me of how I feel about my wife. I feel like when we say things out loud, when we speak truth, I feel like it reminds our soul what we're actually feeling, right? Like, if you're saying to yourself, like, if you're speaking death onto yourself, or you're speaking, these negative words, you're gonna believe those words. But if you're speaking things like, I'm off my face in love with you, even when I don't feel that, I'm going to keep saying it because it is the truth. And sometimes our situation and circumstances can make us feel like, forget those things, or just like, you haven't had enough quality time with your wife, or you haven't had XYZ. And so, but yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Awesome. I love that. Just one thing.
My bad, Lauren. Go ahead.
Andrew so eloquently said we were at the studio and we took off on mopeds. Just for clarity's sake, I ride a Harley. Don't ride a moped. Just to clear that. And I am an avid Harley rider. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
I love the Harley rider thing, but Vespas are way cooler, and that's on God. That is on God.
On God. Okay. All right.
Hey,
Lauren, I didn't mean to do you dirty like that, Lauren.
Do you dirty, bro? When are you guys gonna put some respect on Vespa's name?
Hey, Justin,
on Vespa's name.
just to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, as a black man, I want to say it was very admirable for you to bring attention to something that's been going on in America for decades, centuries. So the fact that you did add the MLK thing was very important to me, bro, and also to a lot of my friends and family. And just the setting up the charity, you know what I mean, in cahoots with his daughter, like
100.
the things that we've been able to set up. That's gonna help people for years, after this, bro. Is amazing, bro. Like, and for you to be the #1 pop star in the world to talk about these issues, it's important, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, literally, thank you, bro. Like,
thank you. It makes me emotional, bro. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, I got Sticks here too, by the way. He wanted to say hello.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What's up, Sticks? What's up, Sticks?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Lord, it's Sticks.
Bro, filthiest drum in the game.
God, I thank you for my drumsticks. I thank you, Lord, for... Shut up. Hilarious. That's Sticks. He's my drummer, but he's a freaking hell of a human. Shout out to Sticks. You guys still around? Everyone still there?
Oh, we here, bro.
Yup.
All right. Well, I think this was incredibly awesome. I think we should do more of these, and I think I think this is just the beginning of opening up these conversations that will they're going to bring a lot of clarity to people and bring a lot of inspiration to people who are trying to accomplish their dreams, because this is my dream. You guys are helping me accomplish all the things that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make music. I've always wanted to do it on a high level. I've always wanted to inspire people, and we're doing that, guys. So thank you. I can't say thank you enough.
Justin, thank you for being here on behalf of Clubhouse. We so appreciate you being here. And just so you know, 10,000 of your fans signed up today just to be in this room.
Let's go.
Wow.
I mean, that's wild. So you got your own fan club.
Wow. That's awesome.
Fans who signed up, thank you for doing that.
And,
all right, I'm gonna dip, guys. Dipping.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the listeners. We were able to do it, and Allison, thank you. Paul, thank you. All day, Josh.
Scooter, who couldn't be here. Thank you, Scooter.
For sure. Thank you, Scooter.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and Fadia. Thank you so much for teaching all of us how to do this so that this could happen, because this would not have happened without you. So thank you.
SB family for life. All right, y'all. We're ending the room. Have a good night. See you later.
Thank you, guys.